A gente parou aqui, então vamos continuar o nosso detonado. Nosso detonado não, né? Nosso walkthrough aqui de Call of Cthulhu. Então nós acabamos de falar com a viúva. A princípio a gente já conversou com os caras aqui, não tem muito mais o que fazer. Aí em cima não tem nada. Então só vamos... Tinho, para que até... Deita aí, meu feio. Aí, isso, bonitinho. Só vambora. Cold Burn decidiu se unir para resolver o caso de Sarah Hawkins. Encontrar uma nova pista. Nancy Sander. Colecionador de arte e amigo da pintura. Ok. Hum.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
Ele sabe, ele tava lá.
What brings me here?
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday.
Ontem, quando bicho torceu ele ao meio.
He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
Ele morreu gritando bem na frente, eu não estava mais lá quando aconteceu. Você está tranquila demais. Não se sinta culpada. Ah, bem. Eu vou mentir, eu vou dizer que eu não tava mais lá.
We had a short conversation and then I left. I don't know what happened after that.
Oh, I see. Mr. Pierce, you must forgive my audaciousness, but I've had practice of life in high society for over 30 years. Reading one's interlocutors, recognizing the politeness of a lie, are things that are taught very early to young girls from a good family. But your lie has nothing polite about it. It is crass, insulting, and dare I say, terribly suspicious. Try to understand my position. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
Entendo sua dor, mas não tive nada a ver com isso. Segurar pra testar a eloquência. O verdadeiro culpado é Fuller, não foi eu. Vamos testar a eloquência.
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it. I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Ele falou de tom andarilho, como você gosta da Hawk. Vamos falar do andarilho.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Coisa pra gente ler aqui. Vamos ler.
Did she really care for him after all?
Vendo a cara da demanda o corpo. Mas afirmar que não posso concordar em entregar-lhe o corpo. Internação. Vai fazer experiência com o cara.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Eita, tem reconstituição aqui.
Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? A house of artists. A house of artists. Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting?
O bicho, quem sabe?
He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel? Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
O marido dela não para de falar do... Provavelmente, né? Eita, caralho.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
Ganhamos mais medicina. Ah, nisso, vamos dar. Aperto sempre o botão errado, cara. A gente tem 4 pontos. Não dá pra aumentar. Medicina. Gente amador. Gente profissional. Vamos aumentar a nossa. Ixi, coisa também. Vou botar um ponto em cada aqui. Eita. 65 o cara é. Cara, um site profissional. Vai ficar uns 55 então. Psicologia, vamos ver. Vamos para profissional. E no sobreponto vai ficar assim. Vou deixar essa eloquência de lado por enquanto. Então vamos montar a galeria. Vamos ver se não tem mais nada por aqui. Cado. Cado. Autógrafo.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
É um fonógrafo mesmo.
I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Vocês viram que tinha o Lovecraft atrás ali do cilindro?
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyes.
Deixa ela ali por enquanto. Vou futricar aqui.
I could use one of those.
Pílula pra dormir. Mais um. Remédio pra dormir. Olhei o bacalhau. Uma breve história de Darkwater por isso. Passado.
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Mais um tiro.
An old diary.
Já eles foram pastor. Falando dedicado a algumas páginas. Depois deles expressa a preocupação dela acerca das ações certas que a congregação do reverendo vinha tendo desde a chegada dele. Os membros da comunidade, inclusive Maria, começou a falar de desenvolvendo o mensageiro enviado por Deus. Ela teme que eles tenham o mesmo destino dos desaparecidos.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
O problema de da culpa, não posso que até toda sua quieta, sim, claro. Queria vender o quadro, meu jeito. Não ficou nada aqui. Chave da galeria. É só porque estão lá na... Ah, medicina. Fala com essa louca aqui.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Quadro Sarah Hawkins. Não vi que tá pra você. Nada dessa conta. Preciso pegar. Outro quadro da Sarah Hawkins.
Another painting by Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm listening.
Tudo bem.
All's fair in love and war, I suppose.
Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
Você leria o livro? Lê o livro. Isso vai afetar seu destino. Deus bestiaram o volume 3. Você começa a copiar de criaturas desconhecidas. Só começar a Deus bestiário. Eita. Minha amiga está de ocultismo. Ah, estamos 50% já estamos profissional já no bagulho. Lugar pra se esconder. Só umas caveiras, no melhor estilo Nyarlathotep. Meio egípcio. Ah, Deus, aquela cutuliana com.
The public entrance to the gallery.
Pública.
The man transforms an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Nyarlathotep. Não faço ideia.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Coisa cutuliana. Ah, finalmente. Abastecemos nosso lampião. Aqui tá o andarilho. É, ferrou, amigo. Legal. Se vira aí agora.
What the hell was that?
Cadê o- Sentindo a respiração dele, cara. Sei que a gente tem que pegar uma adaga aqui. E lá tá ele. Metendo o quadro. Vamos correr que ele tá perto. Se eu não me engano, é essa adaga aqui, ó.
Damn. This dagger looks different.
Vai matar o bicho. Ah, esse eu lembrava. É a primeira vez que eu cheguei aqui, meu. Eu quebrei tudo. Tudo. E morri umas 60 vezes pra esse bicho. Nunca mais esqueci que era aquela adaga do canto. Isso eu lembrava. Ih, rapaz.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be
Bart.
needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm.
Mas
Did
o
I
sair da
miss
porta é
something
um
more
conto do
interesting?
Lovecraft. Eu vou falar isso aqui, que o cara tá amaldiçoado.
Sanders was right. This painting is cursed.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
sabia do monstro.
You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
Se me deu de graça, nem vou falar nada. Eu
This
vou lá.
symbol on the dagger, it was all over Sanders' cell. It's what protected him. It's what protected me, too. If Hawkins was trying to get rid of this shambler, she might have made contact with Drake. This antique dealer has a good knowledge of the occult. I have nothing to lose by meeting him.
You've got your spunk back. Go where you want. I'm staying here to talk business with Irene.
Tá muito tranquilo. A livraria sim. Dá pra fazer mais esse capítulo ainda.
Where is the bookseller?
O vidro tá quebrado, tem sangue aqui. Alguém arrombou isso aqui.
An old diary.
O passado declarou ser o próprio profeta. Anunciou a Deus passou a venerar uma santidade pagã de pai se mostrou. A esposa dele tentou dissuadi-lo, mas foi em vão. Ele estava convencido de que tinha que ouvir a voz da cabeça, pois ela era a verdade. O pastor que veio pra cá enlouqueceu. Então vamos ficar com isqueirinho por enquanto.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
Medicina. História de Darkwater. A colônia de puritanos, liderada pelo reverendo John Wickwood, estabeleceu-se na ilha durante o século XVII. Eles batizaram a ilha de Darkwater, pelos do mar que os colonizadores cultivavam devido à cor peculiar das pedras ao redor da ilha. Eles ergueram as primeiras construções como a própria mansão Hawkins, a igreja e o cemitério. Os raros documentos e notas escritas a mãos deixados por eles mencionam pesadelos e comportamentos anormais. Eles apareceram no início do século XVIII. O Breno ficou louco. Construíram uns esquemas ali. Não, vamos continuar procurando coisas. Homem 4. No início do século XIX, quando a indústria baleeira americana chegou ao ápice, as baleias começaram a desaparecer nas águas ao redor de Darkwater. Isso não parece ainda mais estranho porque até o momento a região era um dos refúgios preferidos dos cetáceos. Em 1847, quando meses após a busca, o Silo retornou ao porto com uma criatura gigantesca a bordo. A tripulação afirma que o monstro marítimo havia comido todas as baleias desaparecidas. Após uma noite de combate violento, os sobreviventes conseguiram arrastar a criatura para dentro do navio. Conseguiram ou a criatura se deixou se arrastar? Então vamos de lampião. Fonógrafo. Óleo de monstro do mal.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
Ok. E eu não tomei descasso. Eita. Você leria esse livro? Sim.
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Os bestiários. Coleção catalog classifica criaturas que nunca ouvi falar. Divindades estrelas, criaturas capazes de viajar de uma dimensão. Como óbvio, diferença do bestiário do mito sem dar detalhes muito. As páginas são cobertas por ilustrações fantasmas. Essa foi mais um pouco da sanidade. Isso vai afetar. Esqueletinho. O Zé.
What happened here?
Pois então. Ó, tu não percebeu que isso aqui foi invadido.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work.
Sangue aqui.
Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably.
São pra cá.
This burglar seems to be rather clumsy. What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What killed all these animals?
Ratos.
What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
Símbolo ancestral. Símbolo de proteção.
What the? Charles Hawkins? Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins.
É um símbolo ancestral. Protege contra os mitos.
What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case. Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Encontrar as memórias não sei o que são impuros. Mesmo esperança é meu corpo sem estar falando real. As mensagens são importantes, seja pequenas palavras. Também se usar meu se encontrar a pista de combinação em 3 cilindros. Escondido da vida, estudo sempre usando o mundo grego. Os cilindros estão numerados, embora seja com um grande autor disse. A empresa da razão. O fato, apesar da minha preferência pelo caos organizado, é admitir que muitas vezes a razão prevalece. Uma coisa, se por acaso uma pessoa melhor, um gênio, se a minha altura encontrar a combinação do próprio, eu gostaria de estar um indivíduo entregado o conteúdo dele a minha amiga e colega professora da Universidade sem arco, para que fique em segurança. Não é só o conteúdo do cofre, é uma vasta praça de conhecimentos, como também uma muito perigosa. Espero que você seja capaz de apreciar o perigo que representa e que em todo caso, não estarei aí nem para as consequências das ações. Beleza, temos um quadro. Precisamos descobrir a combinação.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Acho que eu tô entendendo. Todo mundo nessa ilha tem pesadelo.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Chave de relé? Isso, que é a chave lá pro Cthulhu lá. Carrega o signo ancião. Sim, eu sou ancião. A única forma que pode fazer é isso aí mesmo. Aqui. Ah, aqui. Meia de secação. A gente já tá de medicina. 32%. Tá,
Arkham editions. Never
essa
heard of them.
comum.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Como é que é o nome?
Another volume by Arkham
Massa de
Editions.
Requiem Peshugai.
Arkham Editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection?
Manuscritos.
Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of them.
Rapaz. Esse livro tem número? 4. 8. Não dá pra ver. 1. Aqui é um 3. 1, 3. 3, 4. 8. 7.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Zatoff e outros horrores. Aqui tem a ver com os livros. Tomara que não, meu, porque esses livros aqui não estão dando
Another
pista
volume
nenhuma.
by Arkham Editions.
Sem véu.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide.
Ah,
I should perhaps listen to them.
eles devem ter alguma pista. Olha lá, uma coisa escondida por aí.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Aqui.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
Tem algum número aí? Eu não tô vendo nada. As pedras vermelhas ou as pedras verdes? Aí ele falou.
And these red drops,
Ah, gotas
precious
vermelhas.
stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
Então vamos começar aqui por esse rascunho. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tem 5 pedras vermelhas.
To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark
The
souls.
Queen has little
I
protection.
see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be
Nós
the
estamos de
playthings
pé.
of destiny.
É 5, 3.
The Queen has little protection.
A rainha tá cercada, mano. Então tem 3 brancos. 5, 3.
Dear friend,
I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
5-3. 5-4? Acho que é 3. 5-3, cadê Azathoth?
So these are the volumes that Drake... What did Drake say about this collection?
5-3-9? Se for, então vamos tentar. Cinco. Seis. 9. Uhul! É isso aí mesmo. Não lembrava, juro, não lembrava da combinação. Eita! Agora tu veio chamar de Cleiton. Caraca, que isso? Instituto Riverside. Pô, eu fiz 2 capítulos, né? Acho que agora dá pra deixar de boa o vídeo. Não fica tão longo. Vamos só ver o início desse capítulo aqui. Assim que ele carregar. Eu tô curtindo o joguinho. Não sei vocês. Joguei ele uma vez, tô jogando de novo, tô curtindo. Tô curtindo mesmo. Tô achando da hora. Two cats. Tem 2 gatinhos mesmo. Se vocês ficarem grandes, vocês não vão conseguir dividir um colo, cara.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Very well. I'll examine him. "30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
É, boy.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Coisa na barriga só os braços preocupantes, ele está gravemente desatado. Fala que tem coisa na barriga dele.
Did you examine his abdomen?
It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Cara, precisa uma
Look
mutação,
at
mano.
these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that
cara tá
doesn't
virando
explain
abissal,
his
mano.
condition.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients, provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
Sintomas são preocupantes. Eu nunca vi nada parecido. Você está transformando ele em um monstro. Sintomas são
These are
preocupantes.
alarming symptoms. If we don't act, he'll die.
Do you believe that? I'm not as convinced, you see. I even think this man has a strong chance of completely healing from his ailments.
No, Doctor. This patient isn't himself anymore. He's dying.
Really? What do you mean by isn't himself?
He's changing. His physical characteristics, they are more animal than human now.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Bah.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Tá escondido só não um crime por enquanto.
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep Mum.
Beleza. Beleza, Cleusa. Jogo salvo. Então vamos parar por aqui hoje. Espero que tenham gostado. Curte, compartilha, deixa o joinha. E vamos chegar ao final desse mistério aqui que tá bacaninha, tá bacaninha. Então, valeu, falou e até logo.